Hi, my name's JB. Thank you for purchasing your LoveHandler from sweatband.com. We've put together this video to make assembling it a little bit easier for you. I've unpacked each of the items from my LoveHandler box, and before we start we should do an audit as to what they are. We've got the front support unit, the left and right legs, the main assembly swing unit, the handlebar, the knee saddles, and the console. In addition to this, you should also have 5 nut covers, 3 bolts, 1 long and 2 small ones, 3 locking nuts, 3 washers, a wrench, and also your instruction manual. If for any reason you're missing any of these parts, call our customer support line on 0845 643 6409 and we'll be more than happy to get those parts out to you immediately. Your LoveHandler can be assembled in 4 easy steps. For the first step, you're going to need the main swing unit, the left leg, the right leg, both small bolts, the long bolts, all their fasteners and all their washers, so 3 in total. And the first thing we do is if we tilt the main swing unit forward, we need to release the rear swing arm. And we do that by pulling out the locking bolt and twisting. If you don't twist, it will just click back into place as just happened. So it's pull and twist, and then it should stay out of position. Once it has, the arm will swing freely and we can do the first thing we need to do, which is attach the rear legs. We simply do this by taking the leg and using the small bolt placed through the pre-drilled hole. I then take a washer to the bottom of the bolt and just tighten by hand. Don't worry about getting it too tight because we'll be going around with the spanner once we've put all of the pieces in place and making sure everything's extra tight so it's nice and safe. I then repeat that process with the opposite leg. Again, making sure I've got the small bolt putting through the pre-drilled hole. Adding the washer and then adding the bolt. With the 2 down bolts in place, I then put the LoveHandler back on its top and place the long bolt through the center panel where there's another pre-drilled hole. And then on the other side, I'm just going to add the washer and the bolt. Again, just by hand. And then to complete the bit, this part, we're just going to put the rear swing arm back in place and twist the locking bolt so that the rear unit is now back in place. For step 2 of assembling your LoveHandler, you're going to need the front support, the nut covers, and your spanner. Now the first thing we need to do is the same thing we did with the rear swing arm, but with the front swing arm. So we're going to pull down the bolt and twist, and then swing the arm around. That's got the main unit prepared. Now we just need to remove these bolts from the front support. We'll be using those in a minute. Be careful not to lose the washers. And the main holding bolt comes off the front as well. You'll need to keep that to hand because we'll need that in just a second. Now the trick here is to get the central column over the legs, like so, until we can see the pre-drilled hole in the centre. Then we use the holding bolt to keep those legs in place. Now don't have it too tight, because we now need to put the small bolts back in the side where the pre-drilled holes are. Now, the careful thing, or the thing to note over here, is not to force the screws. It's all about alignment. So what we need to do is, by just lifting up, you can see the pressure coming off the front legs. Just by lifting up in the centre of the machine, I make that drill hole available. Until it starts to take the screw. Remember, we're just tightening by hand at the moment, and then it's exactly the same on the other side. Remember, it is just about taking the pressure off the legs to get the alignment right, and not forcing the screw. Okay, now once that's all done, we can take the front swing unit back to its original position, and remember to twist the bolt, which locks the front back and the rear back. And now we're just going to go back round, and we're going to tighten all the bolts that we put in place earlier. And it really is worth taking a little bit of extra time just to make sure they're all doubly secure. Remember to do the same with the front bolt as well. And once we've done that, put on your nut covers, and we're ready for stage 3. For step 3 of the assembly of your love handler, the only piece you need now is your knee saddles. Before we attach those, we just need to release the little safety bolt at the base of the swing arm. So if I take that off, and then if you look at the centre of the knee saddle support, the locking nut works in a similar way to the ones on the swing arm, except this one doesn't twist. So we simply need to position over the swing arm, lift up the bolt, slide along, and then drop it down into place. I'm just going to move this up, because now what we need to do is just add the safety bolt to the base of the swing arm. From here, to adjust the positioning of the knee saddles, you simply lift the bolt up, slide along, and let the bolt drop into place. Once you've got it in place, it's a good idea to tighten so that you've got a nice sturdy fit. For stage 4, and the final stage in the assembly of your love handler, you'll need the handlebar and the console. The first thing we do is release the bolt on the clamp at the front of the love handler. Once this is removed, the clamp opens, we take the handlebar,